Hello, my name is Celia Thaxter. I was born way back on June 29, 1835. When I was 4, I moved to White Islands 10 miles across the ocean. When I got married, I was 16 years old. I'm an excellent cook, genius at gardening, bird expert, accomplished seamstress, and a painter of china and tiles. My first son, Carl, was born in 1852. I became widely known as a poet of nature and sea. My most anthologised poem, Sand Snippers, was published in 1862. That's around when my mom died in 1877. I died 1894 at age 59. People put flowers around my coffin and apple door. Celia Thaxter, researched by Allie Helfrich.
Hi, my name is Dean Kamen. I was born April 5th, 1951 in Rockville Center, Long Island, New York. My parents' names are Jack and Evelyn Kamen. I have a younger brother named Barton. He was a medical student in school. I was not a serious student at all. I went to the local public high school in Worcester Polytechnic Institute. I remember that I was always bored in school, but I enjoyed reading books about scientists. After 5 years of college, I left. I am well known because I invented the Segway, a stand-up scooter which cost $979, and I invented the 50cc scooter. My inventions, my mom used to be a teacher, now she works for my account. Some of my other inventions are the auto syringe. It's a small portable device sent for heart patients, portable dialysis machine, and I bought a wheelchair that climbs curbs and stairs. I built Dika in 1982 in Manchester. My employees work on developing my inventions. I own a huge 30,000 square house in Bedford, New Hampshire. I fly to work in a helicopter I invented. Dean came in, researched by Austin Patnod.
Good evening, children. My name is Bernice Blake Perry. I was born in 1905. Once I saw a plane flying by me, so in my dreams, I knew I wanted to fly a plane. I live in Manchester, New Hampshire. I was part of the first Women's Air Derby on August 29, 1929. I was 24 years old when I became a pilot. I was known as New Hampshire's Queen of the Air. I was the first woman from New Hampshire to take to the skies. Before that, it was only men. I wrote a column called Airport News for a New Hampshire newspaper called the Manchester Union Leader for female pilots. One thought my husband made a camera holder so I could take pictures while flying around New Hampshire. The commission used the photos to decide where to put new airports and industrial parks. When World War II broke out, I just stopped flying and others too. The New Hampshire State Police hired me to take photos of accident scenes. I will always be known as New Hampshire's first Queen of the Air. Sadly, I died on July 10, 1996 at age 87. Bernice Blake Perry, researched by Julia Schieber.
Hi, fellow New Hampshire friends. I am Alan Shepard. I was born in 1923. I lived in East Derry, New Hampshire. When I entered space training, it was very difficult. I had 3 very good children named Julie, Laura, and Alice. I was the first American to travel to the moon. I blasted off from Cape Canaveral to the moon on May 7, 1961. I blasted to space again on January 31, 1971. I am a famous person. I earned my wings. I retired in 1974. I married Lucy Brewer. I died from leukemia on July 21, 1998. The funny part is that I hit a golf ball and I think it went across the moon. I think. Alan Shepard, researched by Ben Little.
Good evening, children. My name is Ethel Doris Rowland Taddock, and I was born on January 24th, 1910 in Lanconia, New Hampshire. My parents sent me to Emerson College in Boston, Massachusetts. There, I met the wonderful Jim Haddock. We got married and went back to New Hampshire to raise our family. I wanted something so badly. I wanted the government to work for the people. One day, I was giving a speech that I wanted the Americans to be able to free speech, and I got handcuffed and sent to court. The judge found that I was guilty and told me to keep up the good work. I was fined to $10, The Automatic Energy Commission were dropping bad stuff on Point Hope, Alaska. My husband and I went to the Inuit fishing guilds to try to help. The AEC got embarrassed and gave up. Point Hope, Alaska was saved. After that, my husband Jim got Alzheimer's disease. We all tried to help, but it was too late. Jim died. Then at age 88, I took a 3,200-mile walk across America to help the people. Ethel Doris Rowland Haddock, researched by Abby Miller.
Why, hello there. My name is Barbara Thorndike, but everyone calls me Annalie. I was born May 1st, 1915. I was born with the name Barbara Annalie Davis. When I was a child, I liked making doll clothes as a hobby. I sold my first dolls to the New Hampshire League of Arts and Crafts. On April 19th, 1941, I married Charles Thorndike, but people call him Chip. I had 2 children, Charles and Townsend, but people call them Chuck and Town. I named my doll company Annalie Mobility Dolls in 1954. 10 years later, we opened the Parkersburg, our first factory, and eventually opened an outlet store in Meredith, New Hampshire. My business got the New Hampshire Small Business Award in 1974. In 1983, I established the Annalie Doll Museum to display the history of dolls. The company got awarded Employer of the Year. I also retired that year, which was 1997. I came out of retirement in 2000. I died in 2002 at the age of 87. Thank you for listening to my story. Annalie Thorndike, researched by Jacqueline Fuller.
Hello, fellow classmates. I am Augustus St. Gaudens. I was born Dublin, Ireland, 1848. In 1880, I moved to Concord. I am famous in New Hampshire because of my art. I moved to Somerworth, New Hampshire. Augustus St. Gaudens, researched by Aiden Gelinas.
Good evening, children. My name is Marion McDowell. I was born November 22nd, 1875, and died August 23rd, 1956. My job is American composer and national painter. I also play the piano. I married my piano teacher. His name is Edward McDowell. I did not know my mother well because she died of childbirth. I live in Peterborough, New Hampshire in a small house. I was famous because I created a colony for American composers, painters, and writers. 6,900 people came to that colony. Thank you, children of Plastow, New Hampshire. Marion McDowell by Josie Boyer.
Well, hello there. I'm Onita Stans. I was born in 1773. My father was white, but my mom was black, so I'm considered a slave. I had 3 children, Eliza, Nancy, and William. I got married in 1797. Did you know I lived longer than my kids? The reason I'm so famous is that I ran away from Martha. Her husband was President George Washington. I helped her dress and do her hair. I stayed with Junior's family. Mr. Washington's nephew tried to phone to go back with him. I sailed from Pennsylvania to Greenland, New Hampshire on the Nancy. I died on February 20th, 1848. Annie Justine's research by Avery Packless.
Hello, my name is Josiah Bartlett. I was born November 21st, 1729. My birthplace was Amesbury, Mass. My job was making medicine, and I was a judge. I signed the Declaration of Independence. After John Hancock, I was elected president and governor of New Hampshire. I died May 14th, 1795. Josiah Bartlett, research by Jaden Ricksich.
nice and loud.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Krista McAuliffe. I was born September 2nd, 1948 in Boston, Massachusetts. I have a son, Scott, and a daughter, Caroline. I lived in Boston, then Washington, D.C., then Concord, New Hampshire. What caught my eye to go into space is when I saw Alan B. Shepard become the first American to go in space. In 1982 to 1985, I taught at Concord High School in Concord, New Hampshire. I stood in the Roosevelt Room at the White House with 9 other teachers and got chosen to go into space. I trained with NASA for 6 months, training how to use equipment, eat, dress, and even go to the bathroom. On January 28, 1986, I boarded the Challenger space shuttle in Orlando, Florida. Then the space shuttle exploded 73 seconds after it launched and everyone died inside. In 1990, the Krista McAuliffe Planetarium opened for people to learn about space. Krista McAuliffe, research by Olivia Buckley.
Hello, my name is John Stark. I was a military leader. They say I was a war hero. I was born August 8th, 1723. I made the state motto, live free or die. My dad died a long time ago in 1758. I served the French and Indian War with Rogers Rangers. On March 1777, I resigned from my commission. They say I was at the right place at the right time. I practiced shooting a lot when I was young because I hunted. When I was 8, I moved to Derryfield, New Hampshire. My house is still standing in Manchester, New Hampshire today. The reason I am well known in New Hampshire is that I lived in New Hampshire and I was a military leader. I have a wife, Molly Stark, that is a nurse and a doctor. She died 1814. I died on May 8th, 1822. John Stark, research by Nicholas DeLucia.
Perfect. Whenever you're ready. Oh.
Hi, I'm Sarah Hale. I was born on October 24th, 1788. My dad was a disabled veteran of the Revolutionary War. I grew up listening to my father's patriot stories of the war. I fought to make Thanksgiving a holiday. I fought for 38 years. Finally, in 1863, President Lincoln made Thanksgiving a holiday. I wrote Mary Had a Lamb. Do you want to know why I wrote Mary Had a Lamb? I'll tell you. When I was a teacher, I had a student named Mary. She had a lamb that followed her to school and waited for her to go home. I was married to a guy named David Hale. He died in 1822. I was the first person to make a woman's magazine. My magazine was called American Ladies Magazine. I hope I could educate women at my new job. I became successful at being a magazine editor. I lived in New Hampshire for a long time. Then I moved to Boston. I'm sorry to say this, but I died on April 30th, 1822. Sarah Hale, researched by Bella Keogh.
Hi, my name is Mary Wallace, but people call me Ocean-born Mary. I was born in season 7010. I had a daughter named after me. Pirates attacked my ship. The pirate leader gave me silk for my wedding dress. I lived and died in Hampshire, New Hampshire. I died in 1814 at the age of 94. The house I live is now called the Hacker House. The reason why I'm well known in New Hampshire because I'm a ghost. Some people in my old neighborhood say they see me drive a black horse-drawn carriage to my old house every Halloween night. They also say they see me figure float to a well, leave a package, and I'm a kind ghost. People protect the I protect the Hacker House from harm. My grave is in cemetery behind the Hacker Town Hall. My tombstone says, Widow Mary Wallace. Mary Wallace. Research by Joy Hayes.
Hi, my name is Earl Tupper. I was an inventor who was born in 1907. I lived in New Hampshire and moved many times, but I usually live on a farm and my parents were poor. I wanted to be an inventor and a millionaire, and I was able to become both. I wasn't a very good student in high school, but I graduated in 1925. After high school, I worked for my parents and took on odd jobs.
Then my parents bought a greenhouse in Surrey, Massachusetts. I married Marie Whitcomb in 1931. I had 5 children. I made the company Tupper Plastics. I tried giving Tupperware with cigarettes, but it didn't work. I then hired Brownie Wise to sell my Tupperware. She started Tupperware home parties. She did really good, but I got jealous of her success, so I fired her in 1958. I also got divorced that year. I then sold my factory and bought an island in Central America and moved to Costa Rica to avoid taxes. I also invented a round stove and clothes washing exercise machine for a traveling salesperson. I died in 1983. Tupper, researched by Frankie Marzolio.
Hi, my name is Robert Frost. I am a poet. I went to Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire in 1892, and to Harvard University, though I never really graduated. I moved to England in 1912. I was influenced by a lot of English poets. They helped me publish my work. I returned to the United States in 1915. I read one of my poems to President John Kennedy's inauguration. You can visit the farm I lived at in 1900 to 1911 in Derry, New Hampshire. There are tours, displays, a trail, and poetry reading available there. I was born in San Francisco, March 26, 1874. I died in January 29, 1963. Robert Lee Frost. Research by Diego Robles.
Good morning, kids. I want to tell you about myself. My name is Tony DePaula. I was born on September 15th, 1934 in Connecticut. I am an author and illustrator. I made and gave my younger sisters books for their birthday. I have 1 brother and 2 sisters. I started tap dancing when I was 6. I like to sing. I earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. And I started teaching art at Newton College. The reason why I am well known is because I illustrated more than 110 books. One of my books is Straganona, and the characters are Straganona and Big Anthony. Another 2 are Bill and Pete, and the characters are Bill and Pete. And the other is Nana upstairs and Nana downstairs. The characters are Nana upstairs, Nana downstairs, Tommy, Tom, Tommy's father, Charles, Tommy's brother, and Tommy's mother. Tommy DePaula, researched by Peyton Thompson.
Good evening, I'm Franklin Pierce. I was born in 1804 in Hillsborough, New Hampshire. I went to Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine. Then I went to law school. I passed the bar exam and I came home to Hillsborough, New Hampshire, and I opened a law firm. In 1829, I was elected New Hampshire State Legislator. In 1836, I became the youngest senator ever elected. In 1841, I was elected Brigadier General in the Mexican War. In 1852, I was elected President. I signed the Kansas-Nebraska Act into law. I let those states decide for themselves whether to have slavery. It threatened the Compromise of 1820, and it caused violent reactions. I left Washington, D.C. in March 1857. I went to Europe and returned in 1859. I lived near Concord. I died in 1864 from dropsy. Franklin Pierce, researched by Sage Lauer.
Hello, my name is Adam Sandler. I was born on September 9, 1966. Today I live in New York. People say I am funny. I am more than funny. I am a singer, movie star, comedian, and musician. I had the lead role in many movies. My first movie I made millions of dollars. I am 47 years old. My dad's name is Dan Sandler. I am well known to New Hampshire because I was born and raised in New Hampshire like you. I went to school in Manchester, New Hampshire. I was always a class clown. My goofy charm has made me successful. Listen to your teachers, kids. Adam Sandler, researched by Cooper Karen.
Hello, my name is Jean Shaheen. I was the first woman elected Governor of New Hampshire. I was born on January 28, 1947 in Missouri. I got a master's degree in political science from University of Missouri. I taught children in Mississippi. I helped African American kids that were going into white schools. I intend to run for re-election for a second term as New Hampshire Senator in 2014. I am Jean Shaheen, researched by Leo Morinville.